heart of Amritsar, a bustling city in the Punjab region of India, there existed a garden called Jallianwala Bagh. This garden, adorned with lush greenery and bordered by tall brick walls, was a place of leisure and tranquility for the people of Amritsar. But in the year 1919, this serene garden would bear witness to a tragedy that would forever be etched in the annals of Indian history. It was the 13th of April, a sunny and warm afternoon. The air was filled with anticipation as thousands of people gathered in Jallianwala Bagh not for leisure but for a peaceful protest against the repressive Rowlatt Act imposed by the British colonial rulers. The act had sparked outrage and discontent throughout India as it allowed for the arrest and detention of Indian citizens without trial. Leading the protest was a charismatic leader named Dr. Saifuddin Kislu, along with another prominent figure, Dr. Satyapal. They stood before the crowd, delivering impassioned speeches, inspiring the people to stand up for their rights. As the speeches continued, the atmosphere grew tense. Unbeknownst to the gathering, the British authorities, led by General Reginald Dyer, had imposed martial law in Amritsar and were determined to crush any sign of rebellion. Suddenly, without warning, the British troops, armed with rifles and a pair of armoured vehicles, arrived at the entrance of Jallianwala Bagh. Dyer, a man devoid of compassion, gave orders to open fire on the unarmed crowd. The soldiers, following his order, began firing into the dense assembly of people. People ran in every direction, desperately seeking cover. The walls that had once provided a sense of security now turned into a prison, trapping the terrified crowd. Many were killed or injured in the hail of bullets, and some even jumped into a well inside the garden to escape the bullets, choosing to drown rather than face the brutality of the British soldiers. The massacre continued for what felt like an eternity, but in reality, it lasted for about 10 minutes. When the firing ceased, the once thriving garden was transformed into a haunting scene of bloodshed and agony. The ground was littered with the bodies of the dead and wounded, and the walls bore the scars of bullet holes. General Dyer showed no remorse for his actions and defended them as necessary to maintain British authority. However, his ruthless act sent shock waves throughout India and the world. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre became a symbol of British oppression and sparked widespread protest and demands for independence. Though the garden was stained with the blood of innocent victims that day, their sacrifice served as a catalyst for the Indian freedom struggle. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre became a turning point in India's fight for independence, and it would not be long before the sun of freedom would rise over the nation, dispelling the darkness of colonial rule.